Hi guys, welcome to another crochet tutorial. Today I will be working on making one of these granny square bandanas, and then I also added a scalloped edge for mine and then some straps. So if you wanted to go ahead and follow along with me, we'll be making one of these. So for this project I will be using this loops and thread yarn. It's called the Tricot Delicate, and it is a size 3 light. And then the recommended hook size is a 4mm, and I'll be using a 3.75, but you can also use a 4mm. So you can go ahead and get started. I'll put this off to the side. So to start off the project, you'll be doing a slip knot and then chaining 3, and then you'll be going back into that first chain and slip stitching. And then you'll have this center space to work in. So from here, we'll be chaining 4. And then we'll be doing 3 double crochets into that center space. So 1, 'Then after that, we'll be chaining 1, and then 3 more into that center space, double crochets. We'll be doing a chain 1 and then a double crochet. And then we'll be starting our next row, which is again 4 chains, 3, 4, turning your work. And then see how we have this space here. We'll be doing 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. And then we will be doing 3 more double crochets in this center space right here. It's 3, chain 1, and then 3 more into that same space. Okay, and then you can see that the color is starting to change a little bit here. We'll be going into this next space and doing 3 more double crochets. And then again, you'll be chaining 1 and doing a double crochet. Now, this time not just into the space, but into this second chain right here. And this is important so that your bandana ends up having a straight structure. You don't want to put it in this last chain. You want to do it in the second chain from the center, if you can see that. If you do it into the first one, you might start to see the bandana start curving upward, and you don't want to have that. This is pretty much the pattern you're going to be repeating. I'm going to do another row. So it's going to be chain 4, turn over your work, and then 3 double crochets into the space. And then you have now another space here. So we'll be doing we'll be doing 3 into that one. And now we're at the center space. We'll be doing 3 in there. And then chain 1, since we're at the center space. Every time you go at the center space, which you can guide yourself from that first loop, you will chain 1 in that space only. And then 3 more double crochets. Three more in here. And then 3 more in this last one. And since we're at the last space, we're going to again do a chain 1. And then into this chain right here, we'll be doing a double crochet. Okay, so now you can see that it's starting to take shape a little bit. And you can continue doing this for as many rows as you want. I think for this one, I ended up doing 11. Let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 11 rows. So I'll be doing the same with this one. And then once you complete that, you can meet me back here for the next step, which should be the scallop border. So we're finally getting a little bit of a color change here. This one's going to be mostly like a lavender color, but I don't know. I always get excited when I start seeing the colors start to change. So we're getting a little bit of pink. Oops. It can't make up its mind, I think. I am at row 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. So I just wanted to show you guys it's coming along. I think it's looking really nice. It's like an ombre situation happening. Okay, so I finally finished the last row, and that's row 11, and I think it's looking really good. Just for comparison, this is the other one. This one ended up having just an all lavender border, which I really liked. So I think this one's going to end up being pink because I'm starting to see some pink come out here. So for this part, to start the border, I'm going to go ahead and flip my work. Chain 1. I'm flipping this over. And we're going to do 7 double crochets into this space right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That. And then in this next space, we'll be doing just a slip stitch. So starting my hook, grabbing a loop, and then just pulling it through. So that'll be my slip stitch. And then in this next space, I'll be doing 7 again, double crochets. 7, and then slip stitching into this next space. And now you can see this scallop edge is starting to form, and I'm going to continue doing that, and I'll meet you back in when we get to this end point right here. Okay, so I'm doing just the slip stitch, and this is what I have so far for the border. And then for this point, I'm also going to be doing just 7 double crochets. But I just wanted to show you that I did do 11 rows for this. And I just wanted to mention you do want to have an odd number of rows. So if you wanted to make this longer, for example, if you wanted to make the bandana longer this way, make sure you stick to either 11, 13, 15, just odd number of rows. That way, when you do the scallop edge, it'll match up correctly with the point. So I just wanted to mention that. 2, 4, 6. Okay, so I have 7, and I'm going to slip stitch into this one. And then I just want to also make sure that I'm putting the slip stitches and the double crochets into the correct spaces. And the way to measure that is just making sure that when you fold the bandana, the scallop edge and the slip stitch edge match up. So I'll show you that once I'm done with this row. One more, and then slip stitch here. So just to give you an example, this is the point, and then these two should match. So when I fold this over, it should line up. And that's just an easy way to make sure that you're putting them in the right spot. And then you can also count them at the end. And I like having an odd number of rows so that you can have this nice scallop edge, because if you have an even number, then this kind of either you can try doing something else in the edge or in the point, or this will look too bunched together. So I like to do it this way. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this row, and I'll meet you back once I get to the end. So I'm getting to this final stitch right here. I'm going to slip stitch into this last space. And now I can get started on the straps. So this is what it's looking like so far. And right here, I have my last stitch. I'm just going to go ahead and do another just single crochet to reinforce it a little bit. And then I'll be doing a chain of 50. 50. And I like it to be, just to measure it, I like it to be just a little bit longer than the middle part. So this is pretty good. And then I will be doing slip stitches all along these until I get back to the starting point here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And the way you do a slip stitch is you go back into this space right here, just pull the loop through both. So it'll end up looking like this. And I'm going to go ahead and do that all the way back here, and I'll meet you back once I get back to the start, which is right here. Okay, so I went ahead and completed the strap. So it looks like this now. It's just a little more reinforced. And then I am back at the beginning now. So I'm going to slip stitch here. And then for this part of the border, I'm going to do 2 single crochets into every space, and then 1 into this space right here, 2, 1, 2, 1, and so on. just so it looks a little more together. It also makes it look more cohesive, I guess. So I'm doing 2 into these spaces, this, and then 1 into this space right here. So I'm about at the middle part. I just wanted to show you, I'm going to go ahead and weave in this end as I go. So the way to do that, I'm doing just 1 in this middle one. And then I'm just holding on to this tail while I work on the rest, so that I don't have to weave it in, and it saves me some time at the end. And it looks like we're changing to pink again. And then you just keep grabbing it until you can't see it anymore, like that. And then you just continue the rest of your border. So I'm getting near to the end now, and I am going to keep going until I reach this stitch right here. This one. Okay, so now I have this matching up over here, and we're doing again another 50 chains, slip stitching and working our way back. So I will do my 50, 50, and then slip stitching into these. And I will meet you back once I'm done with this one, and we are back at the start here. So I'm just finishing up these final stitches, and I wanted to show you how I'm going to tie this off. So I have this very last one here, and I'm just going back into the space right here, pulling up a loop, and then that's pretty much it. I'm just pulling this up, and then at this point is where you can actually tie off. I'm going to leave just a little bit of a tail. And then the way I like to do this, so that you can barely tell, is you're going to pull this through the back. So this lines up. I pull this through the last one. Up, and then you'll tie off on the other side. So I flipped it over, and I'll just grab this loose end, pull it through, and I can just tighten here. And then I will just go ahead and weave in these ends. And I'll just do that here. There's no exact way you need to do this. I just go through every other one. Pull this through. That's good. So I can just cut it off here. And we're all done. So this is what the completed project looks like. And it did end up switching back to purple at the very end, but I think that looks really cute. And yeah, this is the finished one. This is the other one. Let me know which one you like more. I like both of them. I think my favorite one so far is this purple border one, and I think it was just luck, but I'll probably be listing both of these on my Etsy shop, so if you wanted to grab one of these, and I'll be making more using this colorway pretty much until it's done. But I'll be posting both of these, and then I will also have the pattern up. So by the time this video goes up, the pattern will also be available on Ravelry and on my Etsy. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed making this bandana with me, and I hope you'll join me in the next video.